How can only men enforce the rights?
Well, I'm glad that you asked. You have rights, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, what is a right?
A few moments later.
Bruh.
A right is something that basically we've defined out through a Bill of Rights or a Constitution.
Something the government can't do to you.
It's an entitlement
Right.
absent a duty.
Right.
Is that a right?
Well, what do you mean by absent a duty?
There's no duty with your rights.
We're given. We have God-given inherent rights in America.
Okay.
Right, and that's where we enshrine our rights from, is the rights that God gave us.
So God gave you the right to own a gun?
6.5 hours later.
Bruh.
He gave us the right to self-defense.
Did he give you a right to own a gun?
He gave us the right to self-defense.
Yeah, I know, but
And
that's
we
not
have
my question. Why do you keep on not answering my question? Did he give you a right to own a gun?
Yes.
Or is that... Okay, he did. So that was not, your right to own a gun is not something which can be taken away
Here's
from
the other
you.
thing. You say only men can be enforcers of law. There
Yeah.
are women can
Rights.
actually
No, I
have
didn't
a
say
gun,
laws. I said
and they can
rights.
enforce rights. They can protect rights with guns as well, because guns are equalizers.
So let me explain this the best way. Let me explain this the best way I possibly can.
They give
so that you
children guns
understand.
in some countries
Yes, let me
to
explain
fight
this the best way that I
wars.
possibly
Okay,
can.
so women can also
You're just
have
prattling.
guns.
You're just prattling.
It's not prattling.
I thought you wanted the explanation. Do you want me to give it to you or not? So I'll give
Guns
you-
rights are women's
I'll
rights.
give you the explanation instead of your incessant prattle. So here's the actual explanation. Men are the enforcers of rights. Rights don't exist. They don't exist. You can't taste them. You can't touch them. You can't see them. They're a social construction.
No, men did not create the rights. God did.
Okay, he did. What
Yes.
what rights did God give you?
God gave me the right to
To-
exist. He gave me free will.
You have a right to exist?
Yeah.
Oh, really? So you couldn't just wink out of existence tomorrow?
God created me.
Women.
What does that have to do with a right?
I have the right to free will.
You have
Right.
a right to literally nothing except what
Freedom
other
of
people allow
speech.
you to
We
have.
God
All of
given
your rights
inherent
can be
rights. That's what it literally says in our Constitution.
I know what it says, but that doesn't mean it's true.
Oh, so you don't believe in the Constitution?
I don't believe that rights are real.
Okay, so you don't believe in the Constitution.
I don't believe that
so
rights
then
are
go
real.
to a different country.
I
then.
didn't say. What does that have to do with anything? Even if
You
I
don't
said,
believe in
okay,
the
I'll go to
Constitution.
another country. Now rights are suddenly real. That makes
So
no
why
sense.
are you even talking about rights if you don't
Because
even believe in the Constitution?
that's the core of what we're talking about, the right to vote. Last I checked, right?
You don't even care about rights because you don't believe in the Constitution.
I don't believe in rights.
Can I ask you a question?
I believe the
Women's
Constitution is real.
Do you think
But that doesn't mean I believe that
better
rights
since
are not
women
a
got the right
social
to vote?
construction. Our rights is social
So
construction.
how do you think the Constitution
You
is
keep asking me questions even though I've answered all of them. Are you going to answer one of mine? Are rights a social construction?
I believe in the Constitution.
I know.
that
I believe.
have the right to vote.
believe. That's not. Are they real or not?
Is
Sir,
what real?
Rights.
Sir, can
Or
I?
are they a social construct?
No, I think our rights are God given.
Go
See,
again.
in
What
the
right
days-
is God
let me-
given?
Let me
I-
explain
can I
something
ask
to you.
a
In the olden
clarifying
days,
question?
hold on, really quick. Let me explain something to you.
Okay, explain it.
Where did the monarchs used to derive their right from?
Oh well,
God.
their right to rule.
The
Yes.
monarchs were sovereigns, and they believed that they had the direct lineage from King David, and therefore they had been given the right of God to rule over their people.
Oh, monarchs
When we
did.
had, yes, because
Okay.
they believed they had been given the right from God to rule over the people. When
And
we
how did
had
they
the
enforce
Declaration-
that right
hold
to
on,
rule?
Don't interrupt. When we had the Declaration of Independence, right, we had 1776. That was a group of American founding fathers coming together and recognizing that they, in fact, were all given God-given rights. And it wasn't just the sovereign, that we were all sovereign,
This is all.
and that we were all given
This is
God-given
all
rights.
John Locke nonsense. Listen.
It's not
Well,
John
back it
Locke.
up. Well, back
This
it up.
is what
Yes, it is. It's
founded the American
Enlightenment. Yes,
principles
the Enlightenment
and created
principles.
the middle class.
The Enlightenment principles
It
are
created
what
the middle
founded
class,
it.
okay?
Okay. Well, no, it didn't. But
Yeah,
anyway,
the-
the Enlightenment principles that you're talking about right now. They still acknowledge that
Limited.
rights are social constructs. They have to be.
They're
and when
not.
You talk
That's how
about,
you get your rights
when you
stripped
talk
from you
about
if you
a
believe
God,
that ideology.
if your rights can be stripped on you, which is how you know the ideology I'm talking about is true.
If you can
They can't
convince
be real
people-
if they can be taken from you. You have a right to
How is
nothing.
this not more relative?
What do you mean?
More
What do you mean by
relativism?
only men can
If you can
enforce
convince
rights?
people that
I'll
they don't
explain.
have any rights and it's all a social construct, you can strip them from them. You can
No.
convince them that they
That's
don't
what
have
happens.
rights.
But-
if people know that they have God-given rights
Uh-huh.
and that their rights come from God,
then they can act as
they-
though they're real, and then they can enforce that.